Hello, 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 everyone. StreamYard tells me it's showtime, so here I am. I just have to set up a couple of screens here so I can track what's going on, but welcome. I am so excited to see all of you here. We are going to have a lot of fun. You just get this window going and we will be in fine shape. That looks good. So while we're warming up here and waiting for the crowd to arrive to honor all of our wonderful wrenches tonight, I want to just say hello. Let's see, we have Debbie, we have Bora Bora, we have Divine Magic Occult, we have Goddess Val. Wonderful, wonderful. Awesome to see all of you. Let's make sure we're getting everybody showing up in chat. Boy, if any of you guys know a way to change the default on YouTube so that it comes up as live and not top chat, I would love to find that default because what a pain that is. Hey, Debbie and Susan. Oh my gosh, Susan, I can't believe you are here. I know you are at crunch time. I am just so delighted that you could spend a few minutes with us. So I'm going to put you at the top of the list. If you've got any question that you want to ask before you have to run, please pop it in there for me. So, hey, Cheryl, Beverly. Yeah. So those of you who've read my newsletter update on Sunday, I told you a little bit about the angel download I got for phase 3. So show me some hands. Anybody saw that? Know what I'm talking about? I want to just share a little bit more about that with you before we jump into your wrench questions. That lets more people get here. You are so welcome, Susan. Yeah, I am so excited to get to know the wrenches because you guys are working your butts off all the time, and I really don't get to hear much from you. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Goddess, you did not get to read it. Okay, so those of you who've been here for a little while, you know that Psychathon was an angel download. They asked me to do the fundraiser because we need to elect the right person in the US because our election affects the entire world. It's not just our country. So it's bigger than all of us. Hey, Marby, welcome. And so they downloaded pieces of to me, and I'm like, what are you, crazy? I don't even know how to do that stuff. But they just took my hands, they calmed me down, and they said, no worries, baby, we got you. And they gave me piece by piece of what they wanted me to do. So the whole thing was angel constructed and designed. So I knew there were 3 parts. We've already had the 2 psychathons. And here it is. Okay, you told me we're going to do it before the election, so we're kind of running out of time here. If we're going to do part 3, we need to do something soon. Hello, what is it? Thursday night, Friday morning, I woke up with the download. We are not going to do another psychathon. We are going to do a prayer-a-thon. Here's why. There are so many of you out there, and a lot of people just dangling with nobody to hold on to, who are scared to death about what's going to happen with the election. And we know, because we're metaphysical people, that what you think about, you bring about. We need to calm everybody down. We need to hold the angels' hands, let them guide us through breathing, relaxing, allowing, and flowing into our new bright future. So before the election on November 3rd, we are going to have an 11-hour prayer-a-thon. We're going to start at noon, and we're going to end at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So you do the translations of what that is in your time zone. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do, and I am inviting some really powerhouse prayer warriors. Please say some prayers with me that they all accept. Because if I can get these really powerhouse prayer warriors, it's going to amp it up to even a higher level. I know all the people who end up being on the prayer-a-thon are going to be perfect, exactly what we need, because the angels are designing this whole thing. But extra prayer from you would be really, really helpful and welcome. So what else do I want to tell you about it? So we will start, like I said, at noon. We're going to have either 90 or 2-hour segments. So the prayer warrior guest will come on with me. I'll introduce you to them. They'll talk about who they are, what they do, because I want you to get to know them. Then they are going to do their own special prayer blessing. They're going to lead us through that prayer. It might be 5 minutes, it might be 15 minutes. I don't know, because they're each going to bring their own powerhouse prayer, blessing, love, and angels to the table. So that we'll go through that. After we do that, then we will have a Q&A session with that guest, which will probably be around 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how much time we've got, because I have to slot everybody in there. So that's what I'm seeing right now. The angels could change this, but that's the plan they've shown me so far. And it depends on how many people, I get on board. I believe we'll have probably 5 or 6 guests, and I already have more than that, so I'm good with guests. I'm just waiting to get a few more to let me know for sure. We've had our initial conversation. We need to do more. And in between now and then, I've got to meet with all of them to record their session, because this is 11 hours, you guys. I can't be live that whole time. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to record the interview with each of them. Then I have to do the editing, get it ready. Then when we're live, I'll bring out, I'll play their recording. Then they will come on live to do either the blessing and the Q&A, or maybe they'll just do the Q&A live. I might have some who don't do any live, and if that's the case, then I'll step in and do the Q&A. So we'll still have that session. It'll just be coming from me instead of them. We'll figure all that out. But right now, I just got this Friday morning. So we already have this much done, and I've got my first interview set for tomorrow. So I've got all that to do between now and then. For some reason, my angels have this idea that I work really well under pressure of a deadline. I would really like to disabuse them of that notion, because I'm exhausted. This is the third one in, less than 3 months. This is crazy. But this is what they've asked us to do. I know there's a reason for it. I know it's super powerful, beyond what I'm even seeing right now. Maybe you're seeing more than I am, and I'd love to hear about it. Anyway, so tonight, while I do the questions for the wrenches, give me some feedback. What do you think about the concept? Are you in? Will you be there for some or all of it? Do you like the idea? Does it sound like it will be engaging for 11 hours? I'm trusting that it will be, or they wouldn't have given me the vision. But really having feedback from you, suggestions are welcome. Doesn't mean I'm going to do them, because remember, the angels are the directors of this thing, and the producers too. But if you've got feedback, please share it, and it might be just the perfect thing I'm looking for, because maybe they're using you to get that information to me. I don't know. I'm not in charge here. I'm just along for the ride, being the messenger and doing all that I can do. So let me see where we're at with the comments. Alrighty, let's see. Yes, Acadian proud. The wrenches all deserve a golden wrench. Absolutely. Goddess Val, that's how you found this group, this the Psychathon. That's wonderful. I'm so glad, because that's part of the idea. We do have our wonderful community that's so close-knit and so supportive of one another, but we also want to reach out to more people who are out there struggling in fear, not knowing what to do, to bring them under our umbrella, because everybody's welcome. And that's even if they're batting for the other side, because if they can come and be respectful, then they're welcome. And that reminds me of another thing. For Prayathon, you guys, we're going to keep the political stuff to a minimal. We don't want to go into all that negative stuff. Now, I asked them, okay, so are we still doing this as a fundraiser? And that's not clear yet, because there might be some glitches if some of the speakers are not in alignment and would be upset about the fundraiser. So I've got to find out about that. Lots of little details. But I think we probably are. We just will do it more low key. So the link will be there, I think. Everything is up in the air, so I can't tell you for sure. But I think the link will be there, and anybody who didn't already give, who wants to stand up and be counted as a person in this community who is supporting the Harris campaign, to go do that. But we're not going to be, pumping it all the time like we did in the two Psychathons. This will be more low key if it's there. Okay, so back to what I was doing. That's funny, Susan. You do wonderful making your choices. Yeah. Perfect. Goddess Value will be there. Wonderful. Beverly, you'll be there. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, you guys. Cheryl, you like the idea of Prayathon to cement our common intention? Yeah, absolutely. Because if you've been following along for a while, um, I've we've talked about on the lives, and I've written you about the predictions of these dire things that were going to happen. But we had the opportunity to come together in love and intention, prayer, to mitigate. So we did that on Christmas. There was a real big disaster that was going to happen on Christmas Day that could have led to civil war. We had the opportunity to come together in prayer. And I think we ended up having somewhere between 200 and 300 people who joined in that effort, and it was mitigated. It kind of was an implosion. It was like a no big deal thing. It did have effect locally, but it wasn't even publicized. So great, we fixed that as much as we could, or were allowed to. And then last week there was the hurricane. So last Monday night on the live stream, we were all together praying to mitigate the hurricane. And from the time we did that until the hurricane passed through, it went down from a 5 to a 2 or 3. So, no, I can't prove that our prayer did that, but come on, if you're here, you probably believe in the power of prayer. And I am saying to you, I believe those prayers made the difference. It could have been so much worse had we not done that. So, this is what we're going to do before the election. So, on the 3rd, which is a Sunday, 2 days before election, we will come together for Prayathon, and we're going to bring all the power to bear, bringing the peace, calm, being in the flow, trusting that the angels are going to help us to mitigate any funny business or any interference so that the election goes through smoothly and we get the most beneficial outcome for all, no matter what party they belong to, for all, because we need the most beneficent outcome for us and the world. That's what we're going to be working on. Super powerful. I think you will personally benefit karmically and so many other ways from being a part of this. Because right now, as we're shifting and all of the new attributes of fourth dimension that we've been feeling our way through since last year are starting to come to bear, and we're seeing how much more powerful we are than we ever knew. And we're manifesting faster. So stick with us if that's not happening for you, because we'll get you on track so that it will. That's what we're all working towards here. And this collective energy is so amazingly powerful that we are experiencing miracles on a regular basis. And you want to be part of that. You want to have every day feel like a magical life because of all the wonderful angel coincidences and synchronicities that are happening for you. So yeah, that's just a little bit of what's going on. Okay, where did we leave off? There we are. Thank you, Debbie. Prayer sent. Fabulous angel download for the prayer-a-thon. Yeah, I agree. I wish they'd given me a little more time, but they know best. So we're just going to roll with it and trust that everything will come together. Yes, on your calendar in your brain. That's perfect, Susan. You can do a guided visualization for the group. You are good at that after teaching yoga for a long time. I will definitely. I have it here on my desktop to listen to. I got a little sidetracked since I got this download. So yes, I will definitely be talking to you about that. I'm not sure how it could fit, but definitely open to that exploration. And if we have more than the 11 hours, which is looking like it might be possible, then what I might have to do is just start a second stream when the first one ends. The reason we have to end at the 11 hours is so that we don't lose anything, because the first psychathon was 24 hours. We found out after the fact that my backup recording did not work properly, and that StreamYard saved 10 hours for us. And on the YouTube side, once you go past 12 hours, it doesn't save. So last time when we did the psychathon, we stopped at like 11 hours and 20 minutes, and it was perfect. We got the whole thing. So as long as we stop before the 12 hours, we'll get that from YouTube. So if we need to expand it, and I'm open to doing that, then that's what I would have to do, is just start a second stream and just let everybody go from the one to the other. So yeah, like I said, this is all a work in progress. I don't know yet what it's going to really look like when we get there. I'm making it up, flying by the seat of my pants with all of your help and your love and your supports, which I appreciate very much. You got to spell, you say Annette is singing, one who sings praise twice. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hoping that Annette Dion will allow us to use her Come Together song as our anthem for Prayer-a-thon. So we've got to talk about that. And if not, then we'll figure something out. But I think that's just so perfect. And so, yeah, let's just let the angels work on that one. Susan, in terms of fundraising, will they really need money 2 days before the election? Yes. Because what happens during the election, they spend a lot that they don't have in their coffers. And then they end up having debt after campaigns very frequently. So we're not going to raise huge amounts of money. I don't see that happening. Would be wonderful if we did. But whatever we can raise, if we do, then that will be helpful for them to do those things. Plus, 2 days before the election, that can be when they do a lot of spending because they're throwing out those last minute ads in the places where they need them the most. So, yeah, right up until election day, absolutely. And even on election day, they're still doing the ads. We just got from our local representative a request because she's going to do a $10,000 buy on one of those big billboards that you see on the road because they've discovered from past campaigns that if you do one of those really close to the election, it's a wise investment. It helps a lot. So yeah, that stuff is still going on. Welcome, Sharon Sipe. Yes, happy birthday to everybody this month with big hugs. Speaking of which, if you didn't already see, on the community page, I posted 2 links for my conversation with Louise Hay. I wrote you about that in the newsletter too. So if you're not getting my newsletter, you're missing all this stuff. Anyway, Louise Hay popped in. I'll tell you this quickly before we get to the questions. She kept popping in last week. And I'm like, I'm kind of busy. I don't really have time for this right now. And it was so insistent that on the 8th, I just stopped and I said, okay, let's have this conversation and see what you got on your mind. Oh my gosh, she downloaded so much information and she's so excited about sharing with us right now. So there's something else going on behind that too that I don't yet know. You know, they don't tell me these things until I need to know. So there's often a lot that's kind of left hanging that I'm wondering about. But, you know, trust, it'll all work out. So we had this really big conversation, ended up being over 5,000 words. So I had to make it a 2-parter for Medium. I got it posted on there. Next, I'm going to make the video. So that'll be coming probably in a couple of days because I got all these other things going on. So I will be getting you that video. But meanwhile, if you want to read what Louise had to say, go to the community page and the links are there. Those are my special friend links. So you don't need an account on Medium. You can read them for free. And oh my, she told this story about how when she was around age 68, she hit a wall. And what's really weird is she had already started Hay House at that point. She had already gone on this really magical path, but something glitched and kind of happened. And she talks about how she just went to her knees to talk to God and cry out for help. And then everything expanded from there. Now, how perfect is that when we're talking about Prayer-a-thon, right? So that's probably the reason she was so demanding about getting this done. But here's the really interesting kink that happened. So I get done with this conversation with Louise, and I thought, I wonder when her birthday is. Her birthday was October the 8th, the day that we had the conversation. Mind blown. And so then I'm thinking, wow, it's really a bummer that I didn't get this sooner because then I could have said, okay, for her birthday, here's this conversation. And she just smiled and shook her head and she says, birthday month. You got it, Louise. Here's your birthday month message. We are remembering and honoring you and thanking you for the gift that you just gave us. So that's what that's all about. Yeah, thumbs up, everybody, please, and thank you. So moderators, start putting your questions in there. I'm going to start the questions in a couple of minutes. Susan, you remember that thing on Christmas we worked really hard and shifted, cemented in your mind forever? Oh, mine too, because I got to tell you, the vision they gave me of what would happen, it was horrific. We don't want that. And that's still kind of hanging out there, which is why Prayer-a-thon is going to be so important. We are going to call on all of our angels and, of course, ourselves coming together, because you know what they say, the more that are gathered in prayer, the more powerful. So you can do it with a small group, but more that you bring in, the better the results will be. So we're just going to let that all flow. And the really cool thing is that my vision of it is this is going to help us usher in Earthtopia faster, right? If we move this thing forward faster on the right track, then that means Earthtopia gets that much closer. So, yeah, on all accounts, let's do that. Thank you for the hugs, Linda. Appreciate that. Yes, Kathy, prayer powerful, especially the group prayer. You betcha. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're telling us right now, Susan. Stop freaking out. Start calming down. Start trusting. Lean on your angels. Really dig deep into that faith that you've been working on developing for so long. Because, I visit these other channels and I see the comments you're putting out there about being so afraid and needing help to calm down. And we want to get you out of that energy into the faith and trust that everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to work out for the most beneficent outcome for all. And when you stay in that energy, then you're not inviting those other eventualities. You are seeing, you are manifesting, and bringing forth the beneficent outcome. That's where we're going with this. Yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea too. These angels just constantly leave me gobsmacked with what they come up with, Susan. Just amazing. Barbara, you will be on and off and sending prayers. That is perfect. Thank you. And of course, you will have the recording after the fact, so you'll be able to see it. And one more thing that's attached to this, for like 2 years, I have had on the planning table uh, a podcast. I've got graphics, I've got a whole bunch of stuff all ready to go, but there's just was no time. It wasn't fitting. And so the angels are so clever. They're like, okay, you're going to have these nice interviews with these people from Prayer-a-thon, which you then can post afterwards individually to start the podcast. So that's also going to help to launch the podcast. So they will be available on the collective for the 11 hours. And then individually, I'll be posting. And of course, there are going to be some juicy details in the podcast version of the interviews that probably won't be on the live stream because I'll have to edit for time. So, yeah, it'll be really cool. Okay, I think we are looking for questions here. Don't be shy, you guys. Put your questions in there. I really want to get them for you. Yeah, thank you for those links, Sharon. I really appreciate that. Susan, you love the idea of Annette at various times. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping she'll come on and do one of the guest spots, but I don't know if she will. She's been a little shy about that. So we're going to talk about it and see if she can fit it into her schedule and, if we can make that happen. And if not, we will be grateful for whatever she can give us because, oh my gosh, that woman already gives us so much. So we can't complain. You are welcome for the explanation. Debbie, you were just talking about Louise Hay. I tell you, Debbie Brady, you are psychic. It is amazing. You got it. Okay. It makes sense to you, Susan. That's wonderful. Goddess Val, you listened to a lot of Louise Hay for years. Oh, wonderful. You will love the stories then because, oh my gosh, she just shared so freely. And one of my friends read the part one and she said, that's full of memes. And, I went back and she's right. There's just so many little sound bites that are just so perfect in there. And that's just who she is and what she does. It's magic. Okay, we got to the first question. Jamie. All right. Jamie would like a message from her dad, Brian, who passed 10/30/2015. All right. Whew. All right, let's shift the energy here. Jamie's dad, Brian. Do you have a message for Jamie? I don't know if he's saying to you, Jamie, but I'm hearing air supply. Oh, 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 it's magic. You know. Remember that song? He's singing that to you. So, Brian, what is that about? Is that about magic in her life? He wants you to let more magic in, Jamie. There's more there waiting for you. Don't hold back. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Ooh, I got goosebumps from that. Ooh, let me know if that makes sense to you and if you have a follow up. Yeah, Susan, you and me both never forget that Christmas. It's just, wow, what an imprint. Susan, that's why you listen to readers on YouTube for the reassurances. You'll never forget when you found the first one in 2019 in Glastonbury. Yeah, that was a really crazy time. And wow, did we all need reassurances back then? Everything was up for grabs. Oh, Goddess Value will listen to the podcast. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I was thinking today about the direction to take it because what I've been doing as the messenger from Metatron for these years now is bringing the messages about leaning on your angels, learning to connect with them. So it's learning to channel yourself, to have that two-way conversation. It's bringing the love, it's bringing the reassurance. And the fact that the Akashic records are your birthright, they're not some mysterious artifact out there that is inaccessible. They are very accessible to everybody. It just takes a little practice to figure out how to access them. And just like a little practice to learn how to have that two-way conversation with your angels, which is why I channeled that book from Metatron, the Path to Hearing Angels and Guides, the 21-day meditation challenge, because that's the course on how to channel. I didn't have to figure out how to write the course. Metatron put it all in the book. And people for, what is it, like 3 or 4 years now, I forget when that book came out, have been using that, opening up their channel and having that conversation. And don't you know, Metatron planned that timing so perfectly because he knew this was coming and we would need to be in a place of stronger faith, confidence, and connection so that it would help us to get through and we could share it with other people. So it's so interesting when you look back on how these things fell into place, the timeline. It's like you can see the little milestone pebbles all along the way to bring us to where we are now. Because I can't imagine living through this time without being able to hear the angels. I think I would go mad. It's unfathomable now. So much gratitude and love, angels. Get some shorts too. Absolutely, Debbie. Yeah. Once I get the whole video made, then I'll run it through the program and let it pick out the sound bites for me. And we'll definitely have some shorts out of that. And I don't know if you guys know, but YouTube today, as a matter of fact, just introduced 3-minute shorts. So it's just in the middle of the rollout. So it might be available, it might not, but it will be very soon if it's not already. They've been testing it for a while. That's going to be interesting to see how that works out. I got your question, Jamie. We're good. Yeah, because let's see, there are 29 of us here, so it's pretty easy for me to scroll through and find everything. If we had hundreds of people, I'd probably need the caps, but right now it's good. Acadian Proud, you are not a moderator. Sorry. These questions tonight are for the wrenches only. This is Wrench Appreciation Night. But bring it back next time we get together and I'll be happy to answer your question. Susan, you've got some interesting health issues and you're going to retreat in Sedona. What is it going to be like for you? Okay. So Susan, with these health issues, will she be able to put that aside to really benefit from the retreat? Mind over matter, baby. Absolutely. Go with the flow. Oh, I'm seeing you in a bathtub of warm water and the angels are standing all around you with their fingers. You know that old game, light as a feather? So just the fingertips all around you in that water, holding you right there. And what they're doing is they're pouring healing energy into you. So I know you're really good at meditation. If you take that visual into a meditation, allow it to expand, I'm getting that you're going to get some benefits from that before you even go to your retreat. So what about the retreat itself? Is there healing to be found for her at the retreat? Yes, absolutely. Go with the open heart, with the expectation, allowing them to deliver to you, to over deliver to you, as a matter of fact. Because it's almost feeling like the healing starts pouring in, and then you have this knee-jerk reaction about, that's enough. You know, that those old programs about not deserving and only this much is allowed. I don't know if you know what I mean or not, but I know a lot of other people will. So it's, if you start to feel that, let it go. That is a big lie. That is a block. And it might even be some kind of a past life thing coming up for your attention. So don't let yourself get triggered that it's too much. They're saying there's no such thing as too much. They know when you've reached the max and they'll stop then. But don't block it. Let it flow. And it could flow to you the entire time, even there and back. They're just showing me that once you do that bathtub meditation, it's going to flow and flow and flow and flow. So let it naturally reach the end. And that will be the most beneficent outcome for you. So are you saying she can get complete healing? No, probably not complete, but it will be a stage in your healing. And you can continue using that method, or maybe something you're going to get at the retreat. Feels like it's a combination. So yeah, and I'm seeing you like you're playing hopscotch. So you're hopping, but you're going up a stairs. So you've just hopped to a higher step on your healing journey. That's what they're showing me. I hope that makes sense. It does make sense, Jamie. Oh, I'm so glad. So I'm curious, was that a song that your dad liked or that you like? Richard, Prayer-a-thon. Oh, sorry. Prayer-a-thon. Loving light to all, peace and calm to all, judges, politicians, voters, first responders, the whole country. No judgments, only loving light for all, even days later for lost souls. Amen. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, that's the energy we want to bring to Prayer-a-thon. We want to let go of all those negative feelings and fears. They don't have a place in our Prayer-a-thon circle. It's all going to be love, light, trust, healing, knowing that everything is going to work out all right. We've been promised that. As long as we come together and do our part, it's ours already. We just have to catch up with that timeline. Linda, I don't know if you're talking to me or not. I'm Deborah, always. I don't like Debbie. That was me many years ago. I outgrew it. So if you're talking to me, just make sure it's Deborah with 2 B's. Hey, ES, welcome. Sheila. Okay, Sheila, you're not a moderator. Sorry. Only moderator questions tonight. And for those of you who don't know what that's all about, it's because we did those 2 massive psychathons. One was 24 hours, the other was 11 hours. And these amazing moderators, some of them were there the entire time. Others were there almost the entire time. I mean, they worked their butts off. And in the meantime, they were still bouncing out and helping other channels that had conflicting things. So now they're really multitasking. I mean, these moderators just defy what one could expect of them. So this Wrench Appreciation Night is for them, because I also learned, I didn't know this, the moderators don't generally ask questions when we have these kind of gatherings. They're leaving room for all of you who are not moderators to get your questions asked first. Well, to me, that's backwards. They're putting in the time and effort, and they really ought to get to ask questions. So this night is especially for them. They can ask as many questions as they want. We're going to go probably about 90 minutes. And, if I haven't gotten through all the questions at that point, we'll go a little bit longer, because I want to be sure you guys really feel the love and appreciation. and you get what you need. That's what tonight is about. Bring your question back another time when we're doing open questions, though. I will be happy to answer it. Same for you, Le Mans girl. Come back on a night when it's everybody. Tonight is moderators. That's funny. JL says, took a double take at the header. You missed the R in wrench and you read it as wench. That is awesome. Thank you for the laughs and thank you for the Reiki blessings. We love it. We appreciate it. Debbie, speaking of dads, you've been feeling yours around. He's been gone for over 55 years. What is he trying to tell you? Okay. So Debbie's dad. Are you there? Debbie's dad? Now this guy, he just came in with this real extrovert energy, and the visual I got is I'm sitting like on a picnic bench, and he comes swooping in and just scooches his butt right over against me and knocks me over, pushes me over to make room for him. It's like enthusiasm to be here and just real extrovert energy. So I hope that makes sense. So Debbie's dad, what do you want to share with her? He's saying he talks to you all the time, but you don't always get it. Yeah, that's very common. It's really hard sometimes to hear our own messages. Yeah, because we kind of filter and we know what we think they might say. It's like trying to talk to your own pets. So those things will fill in and then you don't trust it. But he's saying you are getting it. Trust what he's saying. Take it and run with it. Yeah. And he's also saying, all right, bring that back again. That one flashed too fast. What was that? Yeah, just slow down. And he's saying, when you call him in to talk, trust that he is there. And whatever you hear, take it on faith that you're getting it from him. Try to stop second guessing yourself. Just let it flow. Then it will get more comfortable and you'll be able to have really flowy conversations with him. It'll just be beautiful. He's got a lot to say. He's a real talker. So let me know if that makes sense and if you have a follow-up to that. Barbara, can you explain wrenches? You betcha. So do you see the people in comments who have a blue wrench and their name is in blue? That means that they have agreed to be a moderator for my channel or whoever's channel they're on when you see them as a wrench. So the moderators are the ones that help us with the questions, keeping everything going, putting links in, whatever it is that they can do. And they also are really wonderful troll slayers. So when we were doing Psychathon, because it ran for so long and YouTube was broadcasting it to everybody, we had some real nasty people showing up in chat and we didn't want them to rain on our parade and bring those nasty comments. So the moderators just grabbed them and blocked them really quickly so that most of the time we didn't even know they were there. They caught them so fast. So that's what moderators do. They're just very helpful. And they don't get paid for this. They are doing this out of the goodness of their heart in service to this community. And it's just such a beautiful thing. So when I did the first Psychathon, I think I only had 3 wrenches. So all these wrenches came from all these other channels to help out. And now you can see I have a lot. And that's the other reason I wanted to appreciate them, because they didn't have to do that. And I deeply appreciate it. I know the community does as well. So this is our chance to let them know how valued and appreciated and loved that they are. Thank you, Jamie. I see you did that already. Awesome. Oh, so the message was helpful, Susan. I'm so glad. Yeah. I'm seeing you. If you do that bathtub thing, wow. That was just so powerful. And it almost feels like there might be some, I don't know, mineral salts or something in that water to just amp up the energy a little bit. But plain would be as good as well. Thank you, JL. Yes, wrenches deserve a lot of appreciation and recognition. Sharon wants to know if there's a message from Angel. So Sharon, I don't know if that's a person or if you mean from your angel. I'm going to assume you mean somebody named Angel who crossed, but maybe they'll correct me if I'm wrong. So for Sharon, Angel, do you have a message for Sharon? I'm getting the feeling that Angel either departed at a young age, either that or she's just showing up as a kid. But she's showing me herself as a young girl. She looks to be, I don't know, 8 to 10ish in that range, a girly girl, and she's singing Rockin' Robin. She comes in with the tweedly deedly deet, and she's got this bubbly energy. She's very happy. She's kind of like a stick figure. She's very thin, you know. What else, Angel? Anything else you want to share with Sharon? She's just playing. She's having a really good time. So it's feeling like that's the message she wants you to get, that she's fine, she's thriving, and nothing for you to worry about. So let me know if that's what you were looking for or if you need something else. Because I never know if I'm hitting the target or not. You've got to let me know. Thank you, Debbie, for filling in about the Deborah. I appreciate that. Jamie says it's not a song you would expect him to sing, but the magic message resonates. He would sing Johnny Cash or Burt Bacharach. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably because of the magic part. I can't imagine Johnny Cash singing that song, but maybe. Okay, so, hey, Dad Brian, do you have a song from Johnny or Burt that you want to share with her? So I hear Johnny singing I Walk the Line, but it was just that little snippet. He's not going any further than that. So that's just a real gentle reference. Anything else? No, he's saying the magic was the important part. You got it. Yeah. So just allow that. Maybe you want to play that song and think about your dad. Even I can see the two of you dancing together when you were a little girl. So he's giving me a visual of you as the little girl. I don't know, did you stand on his feet when you danced with him? Because that's what I'm seeing. You know, dad teaching you to dance by standing on his feet. And if not, it's the energy of that because it's really wonderful. It's so loving. He's got this big bear energy, you know, like the big dad that would just swoop you up in that bear hug, envelop you. That's what I'm feeling from him. It's beautiful. Okay, Sharon, a message from the angels or your family. Okay. So I hope the one I got from the little girl made sense to you. So for Sharon, is there any message from her angels? Would you like to share with her? They're having a party and it looks like a birthday cake with one candle and they're inviting you to join them. Are you saying it's Sharon's birthday? No. Somebody else's birthday? Okay, somebody else's birthday in that group. So is that one of her family members? I don't know. They're saying it's one of your family members having a birthday and you are invited to the party. I think, though, what's behind that is just letting you know how life goes on the other side. And, you know, we kind of think of on the other side, they wouldn't do mundane things like have birthday parties. But in fact, they do. I mean, they do the higher level stuff as well, but they also have time where they can just be and they can carry on activities that were meaningful to them when they were in a body because it feels good to them. It's like reminiscing. So, yeah, they do all that. I've seen people right after they crossed over who would go and do the craziest things. Like one woman went and she looked up all of her old friends, her lady friends who had all gone before her, and they sat down and started playing canasta because that was something she missed. And it felt really good to her to do that, especially as she was just new to the other side. And my uncle, I checked with him after he passed, and he was headed to the bowling alley. Looked up the friends, got out the cigars. They're going bowling with the boys. That was important. So they do sometimes really what we would think of as crazy things over there, but they're allowed. They can do whatever they want. And they also do the spiritual work as well. Thank you for that explanation, Susan. I appreciate that. Yeah, Linda, so I will get you on another live stream. Just if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And that way, then you'll get the notice to know when we're doing another live stream. Um, I might be doing one sooner than I think because of all the things that are going on. I don't know. My schedule is not my own right now. It's like, okay, angels, what do you want next? And that's what we're going to do. So stay tuned because things are happening really fast right now. Debbie, you fell asleep during the 24-hour. Yeah, you were just there so much. It was like incredible. So yeah, no problem with that. And that's the other reason for doing the 11-hour. It's not that I'm opposed to doing the 24-hour. It was a challenge, but the angels did keep me awake. It's just, with the constraints of the recording, it makes more sense to limit it to that. And plus, it's asking a lot of you guys to show up for that 24 hours. On the plus side, it's really cool for people who are in other time zones who normally can't participate because there we were around the clock, so they could pick a time that they wanted to be there. That was pretty wonderful. So I don't know if we will be doing a 24-hour in the future. Like I say, I'm not opposed to it, but they'll have to line it out for me. And, I'm just here to serve. So they let me know. I love it, Debbie Brady. Not all wrenches are wenches. That is so true. Mary Ann, you are so welcome. Thanks for being here. It's always wonderful to see you. Linda, you're looking forward to the podcast. Yeah, me too. It's going to be a job, but once I get the system set up, then it should flow. Because I have a lot of really cool people that I want to introduce you guys to. That's going to be fun. And lots of deep conversations to have. Jamie, is your dad upset that you didn't see him much the last year of his life? He had aggressive cancer. So, Brian, can you tell Jamie, were you upset that she didn't see you a lot in the last year? No, baby, don't worry about that. Frankly, he says he was so focused on just getting through the days because it was pretty much torture. So, no. And he didn't really want you to see that anyway. Plus, now he can hang around with you whenever he wants to. So it's not even like you've lost anything. He's still there. You can reach out and touch him. And he's reminding me, Jamie, you can go into meditation. You can call Dad forth. And when he comes, hold out your arms and have a big hug with Dad. And let yourself believe it and feel it. It's real. You're not making it up. And if you struggle with that, then go to my website, akashaunleashed.com, under meditation. Get the one called Connecting with Guides. That one leads you very gently into the Akashic Records, where you can call your guides, or you can call departed loved ones. You are in the records, so whatever you're getting is truth, love, and light. Trust it, enjoy it, and appreciate it. So that is there for you if you need it. Take advantage of it. Awesome, Marby. A message from your dad. Let's see. So Marby's dad. Do you have anything you want to share with her? Marby's dad. The energy I'm getting from him, Marby, is he was kind of gruff. I don't know if he had a beard, but I'm almost getting like a pirate vibe from him because he's singing that pirate song, ho 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 and a bottle of rum, but he's not doing it like saying he was a pirate. It's a fun energy. It's almost like, when Dad play acts for the kids to entertain them. That's the energy that I feel. That he was a really good, warm-hearted dad who enjoyed spending time and romping with the kids and being physically active. It's like, I could see you in your pajamas all running around and playing leapfrog and just having fun together as a family. There's that really lovely kind of an old-timey family feel when things were simpler and people just appreciated being together. That's what I'm getting from him. It's just beautiful. So let me know if that makes sense. Hey, Tammy, welcome. Great to see you. Debbie, messages from friends or family who've crossed. Okay. So for Debbie, anybody on the other side who wants to say hello? Your dad pops up. Me. He was first to the microphone, as you will. Yeah, okay. So what do you want to share with Debbie? This is funny. He's just so darn tootin' happy for you. And he's saying that in a silly way. So he's just really happy for you that your life is expanding in these wonderful ways and he's acknowledging the magic of it that, you know, it's kind of like he's expressing he didn't think you were ever going to get that because you were on a very different path. And so he is just super excited that you found that, I don't know if it was a detour that you would call it or just a better path, that all of a sudden things are opening up and there's more joy. That's what he wanted for you. And he says, make up for lost time. Enjoy the heck out of it. You deserve it, baby. And he's blowing kisses. He's sending you lots of love. So anybody else on the other side with a message for Debbie? I'm hearing Scylla. I don't know if there's anybody, family or friend named Scylla. And that might be a nickname. I don't know. But I hear very clearly Scylla. So, okay, what do you want to share with Debbie? She's coming across with kind of a stern teacher like energy. Like, maybe somebody who was influential in your early life who taught you. One more question. So, Scylla, were you incarnated during Debbie's present lifetime? Okay, so she was incarnated. She was actually somebody you knew. Is she going to know who you are when I tell her this? She says you will. All right, is there anything else you want to share with her? No, that's it. She just wanted to pop in to acknowledge that she still thinks about you, which is really lovely. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm getting all the... Let me know, somebody, if I'm missing comments because I'm looking at them on the StreamYard side, and I think it's everything, but I want to be sure I'm not missing people. So I'm up to 10:09 right now, so I'm about 20 minutes behind. That's the cool thing about doing them on the StreamYard side. They show the timestamp, so it lets me know where I'm at. Okay, and for Debbie, guidance for the next chapter. So, any guidance about the next chapter? Oh, you've got this. Go with the flow, do what brings you joy, and stop second guessing yourself. More joy. You can't have enough joy. And playfulness. And I'm seeing you out on the boat, speeding along with the sun and the wind, and just big smile on your face, just really being in the moment, slowing down. And it's you slowing down time by being very present in the moment and enjoying each of those moments individually, which expands the time so that there's more joy for you there. So there's a background kind of message there about slowing down, being more present in the moment, which is really important for everybody right now because time is accelerated in this fourth dimensional reality that we're in. So for all of us, if we can slow down, be a little more present in the moment to stretch the time, that will be beneficial for us. What we don't want to do is get caught up in that time accelerator that's dragging us along like crazy, and then we miss a lot, which also suppresses our spiritual growth. So to have the maximum spiritual growth, breathe, relax, allow, stay in the moment, notice and appreciate all those little things, and your time will expand. It's a really marvelous concept. Thank you, Letty. That is a beautiful sentiment. Yeah, it's wonderful. Hi, Betty. Thank you for the tunes. Oh, Debbie, so your dad was friendly. Maybe he forced the extrovert because he was in sales. He was around you as a teen. You were 10 when he died, but not much lately. Well, it could be that you're really busy and you are on a wonderful trajectory, so there's not as much need. So that's the other thing. If we want them, we can think about them and they'll come near. But just because we can doesn't mean that we always want to, because you are really focused. You're on this amazing trajectory, so there's not as much need for him. But just knowing that you can call him when you want to means you need to call him less. It's kind of a crazy mixed up thing, right? It's the same thing with me and my grandmother, who I adored, and I lost her when I was in my early 20s, which, oh my gosh, that was such a crime. We were robbed because I never had the opportunity to know her and communicate with her as an adult. But when I got this ability and was able to talk to her, for some reason I just didn't feel a need to, because I'd had a few conversations with her at that point. I felt the love, I felt the connection, and I just didn't feel the need to keep going back for more, which when you think about it, it's really healthy. So that, I think, is validation for you that, yeah, call him in when you want to talk to him if you have something specific, but you're on a really wonderful, or in a wonderful place now, where the need just isn't there as it might have been when you were younger. Sure, if you could have done this at 10, it would have made a huge difference. But it is what it is, and now you're where you are, and you can help other people because you have that knowledge and that experience. So don't let that stress you out or fret about it. It's all perfect. But you can sit down and have that conversation with him. And if that's a struggle for you, then grab that meditation, Connecting with Guides. That's on akashaunleashed.com under meditations. Everybody can grab that and use it to connect. It's a marvelous downloaded meditation that was given from the angels to help people to be able to have that faith and trust that what they were getting really was from the other side. So most people who use it have had success with it. I highly recommend it. Thank you for all the love and the blessings, you guys. That is so wonderful. That's what we need right now, is just lots more love. Just keep it flowing out there, because it will touch people. And even if it might not change them in the moment, it will change them over some period of time, as much as they will allow it to anyway. So we can't put too much love out there. And as much as we can, or we're led to do that now, it's really wise. So, Jamie, daddy daughter dances at church. Your husband passed in 2012 at 53, and he was a big bear. He would dance you through the air, and he was always around you. Oh, that's beautiful. So you think maybe that was your husband and not your father? That could be. Let's just ask. So the man who came forward dancing with Jamie, was that Brian, or was that her husband? I'm still getting it was Brian. Yeah. But, he could be trying to remind you of your husband. Or maybe that was something he wanted to do with you and he never did. Because the energy, the love, the intention is there. It's really powerful. And I could just see him standing behind you, wrapping his arms around you in that big bear hug. Just wanting you to feel the connection and the love. That's the important thing. Hey, Maureen, welcome. Debbie, to Sharon. Your guide asked me to relate to you that they are whispering to you as you wake in the middle of the night. They suggest you write down impressions you may get as soon as possible. Yeah, happens a lot. Thank you, Debbie. That's really great. Debbie, it must be Dad's night. It's funny. When one person asks a question, very often a number of people then will come along and ask the same question, because it's like they don't really know what to ask. But then it hits them and it's like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'll do that too. So very common. Same thing with moms. One person asks about mom, and then a whole bunch come along and ask about mom. Jamie, you will try when you meditate. Happy tears. Oh, love to you, Jamie. So much love pouring to you from the other side right now. Just close your eyes and feel it. Soak it up. Yeah, that's for you. You are right, Maureen. All the wrenches are awesome. They are just amazing. We're almost at the bottom here. If anybody else has got questions, pop them in, because we're going to go until, what did we start? We're only an hour in, so we've got at least a half an hour to go. So for wrenches, though, remember, questions tonight are only for the wrenches. And that's for anybody who just jumped in, so that you know. Amanda Carroll, welcome. You like the concept of slowing down. You tend to hurt yourself when you go too fast, and not just physically. Yeah, that's so important for all of us right now, Amanda. Just because, they're upgrading our DNA. That's been going on for a while. And we're getting new downloads and other upgrades pretty rapidly right now. This ascension is just accelerating at a crazy fashion. So if we don't physically slow down, we could end up getting injured, because there's just so much happening. It's like, I don't know if you guys were present when I talked about this, that, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks or so ago, I had a past life regression with Dave Johnson, and it was amazing. We got some really great stuff, which he just posted a snippet on his YouTube channel, by the way, that you can watch. And when we got finished, he brought me back out. I felt energized. I felt fine. So I got up, and I ended up tripping over the corner of the sofa. And in the doing of that, I was wearing these mule type shoes, and one of them kind of slipped and got caught on my toes, and it got bent, and I broke 2 toes and then landed flat on the floor. It's like, wow, I guess I wasn't as fully back in my body as I thought I was. And ever since then, these toes are still healing. They were really messed up. And it was like, wow, big reminder, slow down, because there's a lot going on energetically. So if we don't slow down, then we can just get caught up in it, and it's almost like being caught up in a cyclone or something, and really tossing you around. So it's being more conscious and purposeful, present in the moment, very important. So take really good care of yourself right now. Debbie, you loved your dad's magical message. The woman, you're not sure who that is, but you'll let me know. Yeah. And slowing down, living in the moment. That's what you're experiencing. Riding Ollie was an example. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, because I didn't think you were going to be riding Ollie anymore. I thought that time had passed. So that's super exciting. Riding a boat, magical. Yeah. Just flowing. Your mom's name was Lucille. That's funny. I don't remember that. I thought I had heard her name, and it was something entirely different. Oh, got you. The Scylla. Did people call her Scylla? It's so weird, because I don't normally hear names that clearly. So when they do, it's important. So I hope that connects for you and makes sense. Hey, Patricia, welcome. Jamie, you're thankful you've got your beautiful mother, 83, going strong. That's amazing. Many blessings there. Thank you for the links, Sharon Sipe. Yeah, I'm pretty much at the bottom, you guys, so pop in the questions. We've still got time. Or give me feedback about the message that you got. That's always really helpful. Or if you need, follow-up question, please pop it in there. or clarification. For me, doing these kinds of readings is a little frustrating because sometimes I need to get a follow-up for you, but unless I can speak to you, we can't do the follow-up because I don't have a direction to go in, which is why I really love doing the Zoom calls on the third Saturdays, which is coming up this Saturday. So if you are on my mailing list, you will get the Zoom link on Friday night inviting you to Ask Your Guides. So that we do once a month too. And I can see you, I can ask you the follow-up questions. And, as a reader, that's way more satisfying for me. I mean, we can do this. It's just a little more challenging. Okay, so you're recommending making Patricia a wrench. Okay, happy to do that. But she'll have to wait until the next wrench appreciation to ask a question. So yeah, absolutely, we'll do that. Yeah, then she'll be available for oh gosh, I have to do that on the other side, don't I? I can't do it on the StreamYard side. Then maybe she'll join us for Prayathon. There she is. So Prayathon, and in case you haven't heard, Patricia, because I just talked about it earlier and there's been little about it, we're going to do that on November 3rd. It's going to be an 11-hour prayer-a-thon where I'm going to bring on guests and we're going to talk about, who they are, what they do, what inspiration they can offer. And they're going to do special prayers just for our group. And the whole concept is about bringing the metaphysical community together to help people calm down, lean on their angels in faith and trust, knowing that everything is really going to be all right. It doesn't matter what happens because we know that we can manifest together the future that we want. So coming together with all of that power, we are going to manifest that beautiful future. We're not going to let any of this craziness out there get in the way because we are more powerful when we come together than the other side is. So we're going to use that. And the angels have promised they are going to support us. It's their idea to do it. So yeah, they're going to support us. Oh, cool, Sharon, you grabbed the events off of my website. Well, I'm so glad I updated that because sometimes it's a little behind. Well, there's still time. Debbie is saying that I've gotten through most of the wrenches, but that doesn't mean you can't ask a follow-up question. As long as there's time, I'm willing to keep going. Mailing list, Jamie. So you can go to DeborahLupien.com, Deborah with two B's, and on the front page, top and bottom, there's a place to sign up for the VIP list. That's the one where you get the Zoom links for Ask Your Guides on Saturday. Now, I realize I've invited a lot of new people over the last couple of weeks, so we might get more people on that call than usual, and that is fine, you guys. Don't hold back from coming because you think there will be too many people there. That's my problem to deal with. We will make it work. I will ask the angels to stretch the time for us. Normally, I get around 20 people for that, which is not a lot when you consider we're seeing each other face to face so I can read you. That means that everybody's going to get like a 5-minute reading. But because I can see you, I can do the follow-up. We can go so much deeper. We can get you better answers. So yeah, that's third Saturday every month. And I've been doing that, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. So it's one of my favorite things because I get to see you. And it's so much more satisfying for me. And I hope for you as well, because like I said, we can go deeper. Oh, cool. Patricia, your birthday is November 3rd. Yeah. Well, the angels picked that day because it's a combination of numerology with it being on the 3rd and starting at 11 or starting at 12 rather and ending at 11 using all of those numbers. Plus, of course, it's because it's so close to the election. Let's get everybody in that calm, peaceful, relaxed state before election because that energy will impact the election in a very positive way. So this is the most powerful thing we can do. And when you think about it, how cool is that we can do it? We have got that ability and that power, and the angels backing us up to do it. So I think it's going to be really magical. Super excited to share these friends with you and their gifts as we all come together with that common purpose. And, we'll do kind of low key fundraising for the Harris campaign because I told them that I would do 3. So, we'll do that. But that's not the main focus. The main focus is the prayer. And I have this lady, oh, please send energy that she says yes, who does these really incredible Hawaiian prayers using the traditional ones with those big green leaves. She's just amazing. But I haven't heard from her yet. So send some energy that she gets my email and responds so that we can have her on because, oh, wow, that would just be like the icing on the cake. And if we can't get her, we will still have amazing people. But, oh, that's like tops of my wish list. It is going to be beautiful. Yeah. And we definitely need it. And that's why the angels suggested it. They know that's exactly what we need. Isn't it amazing how they are always looking after us for the smallest things to help us out? That just blows my mind. And they do that all the time. Scylla's not ringing a bell. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe it will. Debbie, maybe we should do something between Christmas and New Year's. Well, if the angels want me to do something, they'll let me know. But that doesn't mean somebody else out there can't do it as well. Because honestly and truly, after 2 and almost 3 now, I need a break. I've got so much backed up to do, and spending a little time with my husband would be nice because he's feeling a little neglected. So yeah, I mean, we need some space here. But I also know that if they ask me to do it, it's very purposeful. So I'm not going to say no to them. So we will see what happens. Debbie, you've got another question. If everybody, I think everybody who asked or wanted has gotten it. So Patricia, because you haven't actually been a wrench yet, I won't be answering a question for you tonight. I just want to keep it very fair. Otherwise, everybody would say, make me a wrench and answer my question now. So I hope that makes sense to you. But the next time we do a wrench appreciation, and we will do it again, you will be getting your questions answered. Or, come on Saturday. You can get questions then too. So Debbie, you feel like you need to move in the near future. All right, let's ask about that. So for Debbie Brady, is there a move in her near future? I got to know on that. Would it be an optimal choice for her to consider moving? Not right now. No. What about in 2025? Okay, 2025. So the first half of 2025? No. Second half? Yeah. So what they're saying is there's going to be a lot of shifting between now and then. So if you still are feeling like moving, then the second half of 2025 would be a better time to think about that. So you got lots of time to think about it now. Awesome. Patricia, you just signed up. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. And that, by the way, is 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's when we start. And we usually go for 90 minutes to 2 hours, somewhere in that range. Yes, Marby, you can have a message from your guide. I'm sure they have something. So, team, what do you want to share with Marby? I don't know if you're a George Carlin fan, Marby, but I just heard George Carlin singing Ta Ra Ra Boom Die. Now, he's got different words for that song. It's something like Ta Ra Ra Boom Die. Have you got yours today? I got mine yesterday. And I forget the rest. It's funny. And that's what I'm hearing for you. So can you elaborate on that? What does that mean? It just being silly? Or is there more? There's more. Okay. So what does she need to know about that? Whatever it is that you are needing, Marby, don't hesitate to reach out your hand and take it. It is yours for the asking. So it's like maybe there's something you've been thinking about that you need, you want, and you've been a little hesitant. Because I feel that hesitation energy, like not sure if you should, or you could, or if the timing is right, something along those lines. There's some hesitation energy there. It's yours. Take it and allow it to bless you, whatever it is. But if you can, go find George Carlin singing that, because you might get actually more out of it than what we already got. So let me know if that makes sense. Debbie, you'd like more insight into what is next for you? Back to work, a new career, or live in joy and not do anything for more income? Okay, so for Debbie, what is the optimal choice for the future? Is it start a new career? No, definitely not. Go back to work? You could, but it's not an optimal choice. And what about retiring and relaxing? Yeah. Now, is that for good, that retiring and relaxing? No, it's not for good. It's for a period of time. You haven't, they're saying you haven't unwound enough yet, Debbie. All those years of all that pent up energy and frustration, you're still like a top. You're still unwinding. The spool is unwinding. Give it time. Don't rush it. Because if you rush it, you'll regret it. If you allow yourself to fully unwind, then when you do pick something to do, whether it's for money or not, you will enjoy it longer, it will be more satisfying, and it won't turn into a burden. If you jump and you go too fast, it will turn into a burden, and you'll be sorry that you did it. So let me know if that makes sense. Debbie, Whimsy said August and you were hoping for sooner. Well, it could be sooner. Well, let's just ask that. So for Debbie, moving before August of 2025, would that be optimal? Sure. So, all right, you said second half. So what about May? So May is not second half, and they're saying no. All right, so June? Would June be good? July? Ah, okay. 1st of July? First half of July? Second half of July. So yeah, what Whimsy said, second half of July going into August, that's a better time frame for you. Let's ask another question. Is that because of outside world events? Yeah, that's what I was feeling. It's not about you, it's about outside world events, that when the optimal time is, because if the things are in unrest or stuff like that, it wouldn't be a good time to move. So by the July August time frame, things should be calmer and a more optimal time for you to move. Now, of course, remember, time frames can change depending on the energy, just like we have shifted things with our prayer. So, we shift things enough with Prayer-a-thon, and whatever we do between now and next summer, that timeline could change. But right now, that's what's optimal. Betty, yours is blocked. I'm not sure what you mean. Marba, you don't know the song? Okay. Um, Google Ta-ra-ra boom da. So that would be TARARABOOMDEAY, I think. Something like that. See if you can find it. It's a silly little song. It's a can-can song. The can-can dancers who do the legs kicking, like the French ladies, with their skirts going. It's that. But Carlin took it and he incorporated it into one of his riffs that he does. And it was just so funny the way he did it. Because, he has those expressions he does to make it kind of a little bit lewd and cute at the same time, if you know what I mean. So if you can find that, it would probably be more meaningful to you. But Google it and see what you get. Seashell, I'm only doing questions for the wrenches tonight. So come back another time, or, get on my mailing list and come on Saturday and I'll answer your question. You will find it and listen. Awesome. You are so welcome. Betty, you love George. Yeah, me too. We spoke to George when Helen and Irish Granny did the Project 2025. There was a section in there where she had questions of George Carlin, what he thought about some of the political stuff that was going on, because, he was very politically connected and commented a lot about that stuff when he was Well, some of it was in his comedy, but he did it also off of that in his personal life. So he showed up and he had some really interesting things to say, which I'm totally forgetting at the moment. But he did show up there, which was really cool. So I think we might be hearing more from him in the future. Because, he and others who have crossed over are still very energetically connected to what's going on here on Earth. So they pop in, they watch out for us, they intercede when they can. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not always aware of. I've been told that Maya Angelou, John Denver, Jacques Cousteau, who else? There's a couple others. They're on a council that are working together on behalf of Gaia. They're still doing that from the other side, which is really amazing when you think about it. So yeah, there's a lot happening. So Debbie, you've got no immediate need to move, just the impression that it's in the future. It's always up to you, even if they suggested it to you, if it wasn't something that you felt really strongly about or you had a desire for, then you don't have to do it because it's always your choice. They sometimes will offer us options that could be a good choice, but we always get to pick the one that feels the best. So maybe there's moving, or maybe there is connecting with people in some other way. And you've got a choice between those two. I mean, not saying that that's what it is, but just off the top of my head. So yeah, it's always up to us whether or not we take their suggestions, just like prayer-a-thon, psych-a-thon. I could have said to the angels, no, thank you. I don't feel up to doing that. It's a bad time for me. And you know what would have happened? They would have inspired somebody else to do it. And for all I know, they have inspired other people to do it in different ways that I just haven't seen. But never feel like you have to do it if it doesn't resonate with you. Now, it took a little persuasion on their part, but I did come around to their way of thinking because I know they're always right. So I go with the flow. But sometimes, we might decide, no, just isn't going to work for me right now. I don't want to do it. And that's okay. No judgment. It's perfectly fine. Oh, Betty, your email is blocked. Okay, so send me an email to answers@akashaunleashed.com. It could be that you've got one of those emails that starts with info, or there are just some that the autoresponders block because they think they're spam. So if that's what it is, then maybe you've got a different email that you can use. But you email me and we'll figure it out. Yeah, Cheryl, I've heard that too. The housing market is supposed to be better next year. Yeah, Sherry, you had that same problem. It doesn't happen often because they're pretty good. I use AWeber and they're just, pros. They've been doing it for so long. But every once in a while, there is one that just no rhyme or reason, it just won't work. And so then the workaround is just use another email. You can use Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo or any of those kinds of things just to be able to get on. And then when you're on my mailing list, you will hear from me on Sunday, early evening, usually. That's when I tend to write. And then if there's anything in between, I'll let you know. But usually it's the Sunday. I try not to send too many emails. I don't like getting lots of them myself. So once a week is my norm. This week, though, you're going to get one on Friday night because I have to send you the Zoom link. And then you're going to get another one on Saturday morning because I send you the Zoom link again 1 hour before we start. But otherwise, it's just the Sunday. Oh, Debbie, how cool. Thank you. You found Carlin doing the Tarara Boom DA. That's awesome. So now, there you go, Marby. Ask and you shall receive. Oh, I know. You are so right. Wait a minute. I lost you. Where'd you go? Cheryl. I know. I keep thinking, wow, I wonder what George would have to say about that. So one of these days when I find the time, I'm going to sit down and ask him because I would love to hear his take on some of the stuff that's going on. Can't even imagine what he might have to say about some of the goings on. I mean, did you see the news tonight about 45's dance routine for 39 minutes at a town hall? It was just mind boggling. I'd love to hear George riff about that. It would be hysterical, I'm sure. Debbie, unwinding is a process. Yes, yes, yes. Your friend was with you when you rode Ollie. Is that Kate was with you or somebody else? He was retired from riding because he wasn't mentally sound, but he was that day. That is so amazing. Yeah, you know what? Time, love, and patience can work miracles. We've learned that a lot. Jamie, your brother made up funny lines to Ta Ra Ra Boom Da too. That is awesome. Maybe he was inspired by George. Who knows? Sharon's site. Any message for what you need to do? Okay. Team. Sharon's team. What guidance do you have for her about what she needs to do? You need to relax, baby. You push yourself too hard. What else? Whew, they're showing me slow down, breathing, being very conscious, relaxing. And Sharon, if you can, consciously stop for 2 to 5 minutes, once or twice a day, to just connect with your team. So you stop, you do some breathing, and it's like, hey team, I'm here. And then you just kind of feel the energy flowing between you and ask them if they have anything that they want to say to you. Now, you might feel something in your body. You might have this thing that just pops into your head, this thought that's kind of an intrusive thought that you weren't thinking about before. You might just suddenly know something. It can come in a lot of different ways. So when you do it, just be very present. They're wanting to communicate with you more. That's the big message. That's the overriding message. Yeah. What else? They're opening the door to you, inviting you in. So once or twice a day, just 2 to 5 minutes, take that pause, do a little breathing, and just connect with them. Even if you get nothing, it's still good for you to do that. It's good for your blood pressure and everything else. So do that on a regular basis and know that over time, it will get easier to connect with them. Just keep doing it. Metatron actually asked us to do this every day in October. He asked us to do it in August too, but he asked again for October. That was in the October forecast that's on my channel. It was one of the things he mentioned. Because the energy is so intense right now, it's really helpful for us to do that mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's the whole ball of wax. So that's what they're asking you to do right now for your own good. So let me know if that makes sense. You know what? Maybe we'll do, how about this? I don't know when yet because we got Prayathon to get through. But maybe one night we schedule a live stream just to talk to George. And you guys bring all your questions for George. Would that be fun? Would you like to do that? Let me know. And I'll put it on my list of things. Hey, Chris, thanks for popping in. Oh, and I saw you commented on the video on Dave's channel. Thank you. I haven't had time to go back and look at all that stuff yet. But yeah, that was really cool. Oh, yeah. Jamie, who said that? Where did it go? Yeah, Jamie. 45 dancing we don't want to see. Well, he wasn't dancing. He was doing that weird thing he does with his hands and just moving around a little bit and hanging out with the crowd. And they were all just kind of looking at him like, okay, dude, don't you have anything to say to us? It was very peculiar and very little applause because I think most people were just confused. He had them put on his own soundtrack. Started out with Pavarotti doing Ave Maria. Great song, but at a town hall, it just kind of felt out of place. So that was weird. And I would love to hear what George has to say about that. Betty, I don't know what you mean. JDN and. Oh, yeah, now I got it. Okay. Yeah, I think there is something like that going on behind the scenes that maybe they want to pull a fast one and take 45 out should he get elected and replace him with Vance. Oh my gosh. That would be a crappy show, right? Yeah, not going to happen. You're so right, Jamie. And that's what Prayathon is all about. We're going to help her coast into a win with ease because I've gotten little glimpses that it could go that she gets such a huge number of votes that there's just nothing they can do. It'll be just overwhelmingly persuasive. So, they're going to try to play games, of course, but with enough power that we're going to add to with Prayathon, we might be able to circumvent some of the plans that they have. Then they'll just have to crawl back under their rocks and go back to scheming until they get another chance. But meanwhile, we're on to them, so it's going to be a lot harder next time they try again. Oh, that is so great, Debbie. Your friend who cross was riding with you, Susan. Does she have a message? Okay. Susan, do you have a message for Debbie? Friend Susan. She's thrilled for you. So happy. Oh, and she wants you to know she's going riding. Just because she's crossed over doesn't mean she's given up riding. She can do it now without fear. No problems. And it's a very different experience. Yeah, anything else you want to say to her? Keep going, girl. She says, I'm living vicariously through you now, so get out there and do more and have more fun. And stop thinking about going back to work. That would just crush your soul. Give yourself that gift of the space. Unwind. Relax. Go play with Dan. Go ride the boat. Yeah, and enjoy your property. So, Susan, do you happen to know what winter's going to be like in Minnesota this year? Is it going to be a bad winter? Lighter than usual. Are you talking snowfall? Okay, she is saying that it's going to be lighter than usual in Minnesota. So I hope that's true, because I heard with La Nina, it could go either way. So hopefully that's true, and you'll get more time out with the horses this winter. Yeah, Jamie, Ave Maria is beautiful, but not for a rally. You're so right. Betty, just be sure that you're. Oh, Barbara, sorry, I skipped. Barbara, be sure that you're subscribed to the channel and or sign up for my mailing list, and I'll let you know. That way you'll get alerts. And for everybody, if you think you're subscribed, check once in a while to be sure that you still are, because people keep telling me that they're getting unsubscribed and they didn't know it, so then they don't get the notices. A lot of crazy stuff going on right now. That's probably part of this nutty energy that's swirling around. So, yeah, the more the merrier to talk to George, because let's bring some really interesting questions to him and see what he has to say. I think that would be a blast. Oh, that is cool. Betty, you heard that Leonard Cohen's estate is suing 45 for playing Hallelujah. Rightly so. He should not be desecrating that song. Chris, you think it would stress you out sorting out the trolls? I think that the wrenches get into a rhythm, and if there's enough of them, it's not really that big of a deal. One person sees it, takes care of it, and it's done. But, I just admire all you guys, because I find that when I try to read the comments and stay with it on a live, I don't hear what's going on the live. All I can do is focus on the comments. So that you're able to multitask and participate on both sides is just amazing to me. Yeah, Debbie, I did see Chrissy Nome was with him. That was weird. I wonder if she was cringing inside, because wow, that was cringeworthy. Oh, Barbara, you are signed up. That's how you got here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Yeah. So you will be getting a link from me on Friday and on Saturday for the Zoom call on Saturday. So hopefully you can come there too. Chris, you weren't able to chat earlier, but you don't know why. I don't know either, because you are now. So, weird stuff going on out there with electronics sometimes. I don't know. Well, I'm at the end of the questions on the StreamYard side, unless there's something I missed on the YouTube side. It looks like I got them all. All right, so shall we call it a night? You guys want to go? Because it's after 11. I should let you go. But you are so welcome, Debbie. I'm just looking to see if there's anything last minute that pops up. Cheryl, you try to make it a point to thank the moderators because they keep us safe. And that's a big deal. Yes, it is. Hugs and love back to you, Debbie. You are so welcome. Debbie K. All right, let's just do a quick little prayer because we didn't do one at the beginning, but it feels like we should, especially as we're moving towards prayer-a-thon. So just take a couple of deep breaths. Wow, what a beautiful night. Oh, it feels so good to spend time with you and to put some love onto the wrenches. It just feels perfect, wonderful. And I'm so grateful that you showed up and let us love on you and share the wisdom from the angels and the guides with you. It's such an opportunity and a blessing. Thank you all for being here, even the non-wrenches, to lend your energy because that is so important. I don't know if you realize how important that is. But your presence here brings more energy and it brings your team to the table. So the more the merrier, the bigger the power, the more that we can accomplish. And right now we have a big agenda to accomplish. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for listening to me prattle on about Prayer-a-thon and considering your participation. So excited to bring this to you. So let's bring all the angels together to pile on their power, their energy to make it a smashing success. Let's reach out to the thousands to bring them in, to help calm them down, so that together we can just sail into victory on Election Day. That's the vision we'll hold. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Anything you want to say in closing? They're saying wah. And more tarara boom da. Get out there, kick up your heels, dance, have a good time. Let that energy flow from you in whatever way feels good. And if that's hopscotch, great, go do it. If it's singing, go do that. If it's just playing in the grass, do that. Connect with Gaia. That's important too right now, connecting with Gaia. Send her your love and appreciation. She needs that right now as she is struggling. So all together, we're bringing this big blanket of love, intention, magic to the table. Yeah, magic. I like that. Awesome. So we're putting this big globe of love, intention, and magic over all of us and our extended families. As together, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, and amen. All right. So, all right. I think I got everybody. Thank you, everyone. Go off, enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see some of you on Saturday. Much love to you. Mwah.